turn on some audio, turn on some closed captions. Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Hope you're enjoying this delightful week after Anime Detour. Tonight's going to be a really quick one. We're all pretty tired, and there is really not much to discuss. Please let us know if everything should be working, but please let us know otherwise. Call the meeting order at 6:30 here, and we will jump right into things. First thing, the only things on the off-cycle stuff.
Point of order. The agenda hasn't actually been approved yet, nor have the minutes. The agenda has to be approved for us to actually follow it.
That was kind of the reason I sent it out several hours ago.
Yeah, but it has to be actually a motion during a meeting to approve the agenda for the meeting. It's always the first order of business.
All right, motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right, all opposed? All right, unanimous approval for the previously discussed agenda. I will have to email you guys the minutes for last month yet, I think. No, we already uploaded them after we talked about them last month.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second. All opposed?
What about all in favor?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We need to have video and audio approval from all participants per our bylaws, or your vote isn't valid.
Appeal the decision from the chair. That's not anywhere in the bylaws.
Actually, yes, it is.
Point to the section, please, because I'm pretty sure it's not.
Well, let me pull it up.
I don't think there's been any bylaw ratification that requires that.
The ATC Board is Article 4 meetings, board meetings. The ATC Board is authorized to meet electronically as long as simultaneous visual and audio communication is in use.
And it is in use. It doesn't specify for every member, therefore it's not necessary. So, moving on.
All right. All right. The only off-cycle actions, we had a bit of a hiccup. The incorrect date was put into the vote or the election for getting Nick's election last week. It has been adjusted. It is already set and scheduled for this Saturday to the following Sunday for 24 hours from noon to noon with all previously eligible voters. Does anybody have any issues with selecting that as a date?
Did we decide the original date based upon a board action, and is this just an administrative move that requires us to actually vote on it?
No, I wasn't looking for, but I was just wondering if anybody else would prefer, like, say, tomorrow, or if Saturday was acceptable.
Saturday's fine. Just making sure we didn't fix the date by board action that we then have to actually have a motion to.
No, we did. No, we did not. I was just checking with the group.
Then it should be fine.
Okay. All right, so that will be this Saturday. Everybody, it is set to email out 1 hour early with the notice that it starts that it starts at noon. So then we can go on to the open session. That is reserved for the next 30 minutes for anybody if they have any questions that they or discussions they would like to bring up with the board.
I don't believe you actually recapped the chairman getting a bank card, or did I miss that?
No, you are correct. I'm sorry. Oh no, when I move something around, I actually deleted that. Thank you for reminding me. Um, last week, to ease the process of trying to get everything approved with any payments at the coordinator level, the board did approve the chairman to get a bank card so they can make purchases and expenses as long as the paper receipts are provided. It was a unanimous vote among all present. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I would like to indicate for the record it was a board action taken by email in lieu of a meeting. So it was all coordinated by written consent of all those approved or all those authorized to cast a vote. But that's all.
Sorry. So a second for anybody in the chat. Unless anybody else has anything, we can move on to the open session. All right. I am not seeing any other questions or anything brought up in the chat. I am not aware of any other planned discussions, nor am I aware of any new equipment rental requests that have been made since the last meeting. So we should be able to move on to the coordinator updates, starting with Troy.
All right. At our annual convention this past weekend, attendance 8,142. That's 1,044 people more than last year. So that's the second consecutive year with around 1,000 person growth from year to year. Yeah, I guess looking forward, get the feedback survey out, social media posts up about that, and we'll start moving into, we have our post-mortem this month to gather staff feedback. Like I said, the survey will be out to gather attendee feedback, and then the executives will look at both pieces of that information and start following up with their department heads in terms of one-to-ones and reviews and look forwards for this new cycle. And that's pretty much what we're looking for in the immediate future. So unless there's any questions, that's about it. Nothing new really since the weekend. Everything we're seeing online, though, is pretty positive feedback. A lot of positive feedback from like our partners, our vendors, sponsors, booking agents, things like that. So there's that as well.
We had a lot of positive artist feedback about actually being fed.
Yeah, artists and vendors had a lot of positive feedback about working underneath Otura or alongside her, however you want to look at it. But yeah, there was lots of positive feedback at con and immediately thereafter thus far.
All right. Thank you very much, Troy.
Yeah.
Really glad everything turned out a heck of a lot better than was expected.
We usually do, and I mean collectively, all of us, we
Had
do
a good
our
team.
Yeah,
Had a good team.
exactly. Yeah.
So, all right. Um, I have not heard anything from Brittany, so we'll wait to see if she is able to get in. I do have a minor update. I'm not sure if it would be classified either under charities or communities. We did have a representative from the St. Paul Public Library reach out to us last week. Apparently, they have a new person in the position, and she wanted to reach out and talk, start coming to the meetings and stuff, and see where we might be able to do some more partnerships, possibly work out back into the ways we were doing things before, and see what else we can do. And then with finance, where right page, we got the bank account numbers from Kim. We have in the main checking account $342,225.54. The education fund is $3,094.42, and the leg fund, or the community fund, is $14,488.79. That is coupled with total income from the weekend. Apparently, we pulled $14,429.75 for the merchandise, and over $132,000 from our registration team that Troy has.
And that was all at convention registrations?
Yes.
Mostly? Awesome.
That according to here, yep. That does include the cash deposits that she made this morning. That is some awesome numbers.
I'd like to give obviously a huge shout out to all of our staff, and just a additional shout out to the registration staff this year for onboarding a new system, a new way of doing things, and cutting the overall longest wait times from last year of anywhere from 4 to 5 hours to this year. No one waited for longer than an hour, and that was primarily the line for cash sales. So a huge shout out to Matt and Kristen, who were primarily in charge of that, and James Matson for his team and the work that they did at con.
That's awesome that we were able to get the numbers down that low.
Yeah.
It'll be lower next year.
Hopefully. All right. As soon as we don't have Brittany here, we also do not have any updates for SOS. Motion to skip the 15-minute break.
So moved.
Seconded.
All right. We only have two things on the topic list for.
Point of order, you didn't actually hold a vote.
Sorry, you're right. Sorry, I was reading that. All in favor of skipping?
Aye.
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 Okay. Alrighty. The only two things on the list of the night. First is selecting the date for the ATC annual meeting. It has to be at a date selected within 60 days of the end of Anime Detour and cannot be the same date as the postmortem. Does anybody have any preferences on that?
Sure, let's do it tomorrow.
I can make probably any night except for tomorrow work, Matt.
So
is this typically a board meeting that we do it at?
So in the past, in the ATC annual meeting is where we hold the elections for the new and up and coming candidates. So typically we try to wait a few weeks. It's not, it can be at any dates, other than the Anime Detour postmortem. We had split them up to try to help show that distinction between the two groups.
How about we affix the date at the next board meeting then?
Does anybody have anything against that? I'm perfectly fine with that.
No, I'm fine with that.
I'm
Okay.
fine with that, but let's go ahead and get it out there that people can start tendering their names to be up for election.
That was actually going to be the next thing. I was going to talk to Brittany about getting a post out about that, hopefully.
In that case, I move to affix the date of the annual meeting to be the same as the next board meeting in May.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Don't forget to call for opposition votes. That's how you do it.
Any opposed? All right. And then the last thing on the list for the evening is apparently here in the last few days, Kim has found someone that has expressed some interest in potentially picking up the role of treasurer, or at least helping her with that going forward. I know there's going to be some more information coming for that, because it was just here in the last day or two that we found that out.
I can speak on this if you're interested.
Please.
Okay, so very long story short, I found out that in the time since this last person had been on staff, in their professional life, they now handle like payroll and purchasing for the company that they work for. The person is somebody who Matt and I both know. Their name is Sky. Avid Anime Detour fan. She had expressed to me that she was interested in joining staff again, but she's former safety staff, and she was looking to maybe try something different. So as a vice chair at the event, I was like, okay, well, what's your work experience? Like, what could you bring to us? And she's like, oh, well, I'm a purchaser and I'm a payroll person at my job. And I was like, I might have something for you. So I messaged Kim, and I got them together to talk on Sunday. And basically, Sky is willing to take on the role if we'd have her, but she asked Kim if she could shadow her for a year just so that she could learn what Kim's process is and really get familiar with the expectations. Kim is happy to do that. Kim also expressed that, she's happy with the status not changing. I know she's been doing it like this, at least for this year. I'm not sure before, since that predates me. But Kim is still okay with continuing things as the way they are as well, if it doesn't change. So basically, it's hey, are we willing and interested to have Kim start training someone new? That's all.
Yeah, I'm definitely for it. If that helps out, or if she wants to just step away and let them take over for it, I'm all for it.
I personally am extremely comfortable with giving it a year of a trial period, because that allows for, the newcomer to really get familiar with it and make sure that they're comfortable taking over an operation of this scale, because it is a lot.
Yeah.
So if people want to do it, I'll go out and I'll get her formal email and we'll get it going, basically.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, unless anybody has any anything against that. I don't see a reason why we can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, I honestly actually prefer it that way because that way Kim has her chance to fully ingratiate Sky and everything, and Sky is not going in blind.
That is definitely the way I would prefer it.
All right. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and have that get started, that would be very appreciated. And we'll look for.
Is this something we need to do like a formal motion on? I'm not sure.
To
I'm
my
not sure we've.
understanding,
Yeah, we've not been in this position, but I don't.
Matt
Since
and I
she's
were talking
not-
about it at con, and I don't think we need to.
Since
Yeah.
she's not formally taking over the role yet, I don't think we would need to until she's ready to step up and make it official.
Yeah, she would
That's my
basically be an
understanding.
assistant. So, okay, cool. I will get her
Awesome.
professional email then. And then who would you like me to turn that email over to? Would we turn it over to Kim herself?
Say that one more time.
So, because I feel like we need to do this all in writing. I'll text her and get her formal email so we can actually make it official. Who do you want me to give that information to? Do I give it to you, Tristan? Do I
No.
give it to Kim herself?
You probably just give it to Kim, since she's the one that
Okay,
she would be
I'll do
working
that.
directly with.
All right, I can do that. I'll do it tonight.
Awesome, thank you. All right then.
I
And
do have one thing for old board business here. Like, what's the status on our mailbox? That's been outstanding now for several months.
unfortunately, I have not had a
Yeah.
chance to come down there and set one up. I am going to be down there for work over the next several weeks, and I can try to get there during business hours. But unfortunately, most of these places are they're open 8 to 5, and my business and my work day is 8 a.m. to 6 Monday through Friday. That's that's why I've been trying to see if anybody else can set one up or something. Because when I talked to the post office up here, they require it to be set up in person. And as for UPS, when I discussed it with them, they said to see what's available at that location, you'd have to go to that location.
Okay. Well, since the formal meeting has been set for next month, I'd like to formally announce my candidacy for board president.
All right. All right then. Otherwise, does anybody else have anything else they would like to discuss this evening?
Move to adjourn.
Seconded. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Hi.
All right. Thank you all for coming tonight. You have a great evening, and hopefully we'll see you next month.
Thank you.